waiting to collect down payment. A lot of people think that I'm going to wait to buy my home when I can buy it full cash, no mortgages, and they are very scared of mortgages, and that's where they come from. And then the next step below that, when you realize that, oh, I cannot just buy a $2 million property in Silicon Valley without having a mortgage, then they start thinking, oh, let me see if I can get 30% or minimum 20%, which is what the books recommend. Is that a right strategy? And what are your options? I'm going to speak about it today. Hi, I'm Amol Heda with Keller Williams Bay Area Estates and author of Thriving Through Ownership. So, I landed here in the US in '99, and after I landed here, within that 1 year, like in October 2000, I went and got my first condo right here in Silicon Valley. At that time, $388K was a heady price for me. And guess why I'm saying it was a heady price? Because I only had $25,000 to make a down payment. If I wanted to use the down payment excuse, I should have never bought a property. Because I were to wait for the 20% down payment, I would probably have to wait another 2 years. And in those 2 years, the property would have appreciated. So I bought that first property for $388K. Let's call it as a $400,000 just to make the numbers simple. And in 5 years' time, I sold that property for $525,000. So let's say that was a $550,000 because we adjusted the front price, we'll adjust the back price. How much did I gain in those 5 years that I held the property? It was about 25 or 30%. Now, that means each year I made about 6 or 7% on the entire 400,000. So about $25,000 per year is what I made. How much did I put down in that property? Only $25,000. And I made $25,000 per year, 100% return each year consistently for 5 years. That's what I got in this case. If you keep waiting for down payment, you are going to miss out on the appreciation that the properties get. And because you sit on the sidelines and you lose on that appreciation, that's what you lose. So most of the times, you will not be making the money that you make by coming in with a smaller down payment. But Amol, I'll have to pay PMI. And what is PMI? PMI is private mortgage insurance. So anybody who makes a down payment below the 20% typically has to pay PMI. And that PMI is about 0.8% or something and today, so let me first clear up some notions. There are lots of lenders that don't charge you PMI. So they structure the loan as a 80-10-10 loan. So 80% loan, 10% piggyback or second, and a 10% down payment. So long as you are 10.1% or more in your down payment, you don't have to pay PMI. You have a slightly increased interest rate. That's about it. Just recently, I had a situation where one of my clients said, Amol, I'm not paying the 8% interest rate because my credit got dinged. And I'm only going to pay, the going rate at that time was 7.25 or something. And I just coldly told him, so you're not okay with paying 1% more from the rate that you're getting today over the next 1 year, right? Because it will take you 1 year to refinance that property. So 1%, and his budget is 1.35, so his loan amount will be about say $1 million or $1.1 million. So how much does 1% difference in interest rate amount to? $10,000 at the most. And he's not willing to pay $10,000. I told him, I said, look, I will not let you do that because by next year, this $1.4 million home is going to be worth 10% more, which is going to be 1.55. I'm not going to let you lose $140,000 because you are trying to save $10,000. So, something to think about. So then what are your options? Go with a FHA loan if there is one available, 3.5% down payment. Or if that's not available because the FHA limits are a little lower, you can go with a jumbo loan, but you should do 10.1, 15, or even 20 if you really have the down payment. But we are starting to talk with waiting for down payment. So you can go with 10.1 or 15% and just factor in the calculation that even if you pay slightly higher interest rate and slightly higher interest, just like if you were to wait to buy your house and only after you got the entire money, then you'd be waiting until you're 50, not when you were 22 or 30. So getting a mortgage helps you get into the market sooner, and it gives you the much longer runway to book your appreciation. And that's what it does. And if you want to understand that power a little bit more, I have calculators. I can show you graphically how that thing plays out. So the last piece on this. If you don't have down payment, 20% down payment, there are multiple ways of how to make this work. You can do less down payment loan programs. You can borrow from your family and friends and then pay them back as soon as you feel comfortable. And just imagine that 1 year's bonus is probably going to help you pay off that second mortgage. But the appreciation that you might stay out of is going to be your big cost. Let this sink. I hope this video was helpful, and I want you to watch my next videos more carefully. Thank you so much for your time watching. See you on my next one.